Andrew Scanner, architect for MANSA Municipal Council.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, members of the committee. I am Lombe Vangil Mwakanandi, Director Development Planning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Constance Chongo, Director Legal Services, MANSA Council.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members and the permit witnesses. My name is Chibuye Collins. I'm Group Internal Auditor.
Thank you. Auditor General's Office.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon, TC and your team, and welcome. I'm Godfrey Daka, Director, Office of the Auditor General, Wapula Province.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, TC and your team. My name is Chishimba Mwewa, Assistant Director in the Office of the Auditor General.
Good afternoon. I'm Novinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. And good afternoon, MANSA Municipal Council. My name is Chiesu Sachingongu, representing the Office of the Accountant General.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, honorable members of Parliament and Chair and MANSA Municipal Council. Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Ansiame, representing the Office of Control of Internal Audit and Finance. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good afternoon to you once more, and the honorable members of your committee. MANSA Municipal Council, you are welcome to this session. I'm Kazinga Kennedy, permanent witness from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Honorable members, good afternoon. My name is Mutali Mishek from the Local Government Service Commission.
Thank you. Clerk's Office.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Simalole Namwenga from the Clerk's Office.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keke Makua from Office of the Clerk.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. Good afternoon, our permanent witnesses and MANSA Municipal Council. My name is Malama Mwape, and I'm from the Office of the Clerk. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon to you and your committee. MANSA Municipal Council, you're welcome. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Honorable Member for Mangango.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon to you. Afternoon, MANSA Municipal Council. Afternoon, our permanent witnesses, the honorable members of Parliament. Good afternoon to you too. Viewers and the listeners out there, good afternoon to you as well. I'm Mwene Lohamba, Member of Parliament for Mangango. Thank you.
Tuntumwezi.
Chair, I'm grateful. Good afternoon, MANSA Municipal Council. I'm Dr. Honorable Singombe, representing the people of Dundumwezi in Kalomo, Southern Province. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk and the team. We have got also our members who are joining us virtually. Honorable Mtelo. Honorable Mtelo, good afternoon. Honorable Pavyuma. Honorable Pavyuma. Okay, they are connected with us and they will be participating. My name is Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose. I represent the people of Chasefu constituency in eastern part of Zambia, and I'm privileged to chair your committee. Town Clerk and your team, once again, I want to state that you are not in court. You are here to help us clarify issues that took place at MANSA Municipal Council during the year under review, which is 2023. So feel at ease and give us the information that we need. With that said, I would like to ask you to take us through your report.
Thank you, Chair.
Before I even start reading my report, Chair, I want to make mention that I know this committee looks at documentary evidence. So part of the documentary evidence that we have could not fit in the box for what is too much. We have come with a suitcase, so shall we have that aside, the documentary evidence?
No, we shall look at it as we go through. We shall request for it. Otherwise, we admit it.
Thank you, Chair. I now proceed to read through my report. I just start from cause of query. Chair, how do I proceed?
Yeah, you read the query, the title of the query, then you go to the cause of the query.
Thank you. The first query is delayed implementation of approved projects. A review of the approved project list and progress reports for Constituency Development Fund revealed that 4 approved projects with a total allocation of 3,471,875 had not been implemented. These are specific audit findings, and we are under MANSA Central Constituency.
Just a minute. You say, you read the title, delayed implementation of approved projects. Then you go to the cause of the query, action taken, and remedial measures. Sure.
So the query is delayed implementation of approved projects. Cause of query, Council wishes to acknowledge the observation of the Office of the Auditor General's findings and wishes to submit that 4 projects were delayed owing to indicated reasons. The first reason, under construction of ablution block at Mutende School, Chair, the project was advertised 3 times and was only successfully awarded on the 3rd attempt due to challenges with the local contractors understanding the EGP system. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the project is completed and handed over to the school. See EGP reports, completion and handover certificates attached as Appendix 1. Chair, I proceed to page 3. Remedial measures. Council shall endeavor to complete projects on time by continuously monitoring projects for the benefit of the people of MANSA. I proceed to page 4, Chair, which is the second item, procurement of an ambulance, cause of query. According to circular number MLGRD 10/4/26, dated 11th December 2023, it was directed that the procurement of ambulances was a preserve of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and the funds held at source. As at the completion of 2023 audit, the said ambulance had not yet been delivered to the district. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that it has been following progress made by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development on the procurement of ambulances. See attached Appendix 2. On remedial measures, Chair, Council shall continuously engage the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development on the delivery of ambulances for the benefit of the people of MANSA. I proceed to item number 3, electrification of public facilities. Cause of query. Council wishes to submit that in accordance with the MOU signed between Rural Electrification Authority and MANSA Municipal Council, RIA's responsibility was to provide technical assistance in terms of project planning, which provides project technical assessment, market assessment, environmental impact assessment, project financial and economic analysis, project scoping and design, and supervision of contractors engaged by the local authority. Action taken by the Council Chair. Council wishes to submit that based on the BOQs and designs submitted by RIA, MANSA Municipal Council proceeded to advertise for the electrification of public facilities in MANSA Central Constituency. After close of bidding period and evaluation of bids, the lowest bid sum was Zambian kwacha 2,967,491 12 Council wrote to Rural Electrification Authority for a scoping of the works to be undertaken. And this is presented as Appendix 3. Remedial measure. Council will ensure that the electrification of public places is completed by continuously following up and engaging RIA to expedite the rescooping of the works. I proceed to item number 4, construction of Chief's Palaces. Cause of query. According to circular number MLGRD 10/5/5, Council wishes to submit that the procurement of the construction of the Chief's Palaces was done centrally. The Ministry of Law, Government and Rural Development signed contracts with Zambia Correctional Services for the construction of the said palaces. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that MANSA Municipal Council has joined in the supervision alongside the Ministry of Law, Government and Rural Development through the Department of Rural Development at provincial level. The details and status of the said palaces is attached as indicated. Matanda Palace in MANSA Central Constituency, this project is at war plate level. See circular for instruction and pictorial presentation attached as Appendix 4. I proceed to remedial measures. Council shall continue to monitor progress of the project alongside Department of Rural Development. Council shall continuously engage and update the Ministry of Law, Government and Rural Development regarding progress on the construction of the Chief's Palaces. I proceed to delayed completion of a laboratory at MANSA Skills Training Center. Cause of query. Council wishes to acknowledge the observation of the Office of the Auditor General and wishes to state that at the time of audit, the painting, decoration, completion of electrical installations, completion of plumbing installations, external works, and completion of workstations had not been done due to delays by the contractor. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the project has since been completed and handed over to MANSA Skills Training Center. See completion and handover certificates attached as appendix. That should be appendix 5, Chair. Remedial measure. The pictorial presentation is indicated in the report. Council shall endeavor to complete projects on time by continuously monitoring and inspecting projects. I proceed to C, delayed construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Kapompo Community School. Cause of query. Council acknowledges the observation of the Office of the Auditor General findings and wishes to indicate that the electrical installations, plumbing works, fitting of doors, completion of the water reticulation system, painting, decorations, floor and wall finishes, and external works were still outstanding at the time of audit due to the delay by the contractor. Action taken, Chair. Council wishes to submit that the electrical installations, plumbing works, fitting of doors, completion of the water reticulation system, painting, decorations, floor and wall finishes, and external works have been completed and the project handed over. See completion and handover certificates on Appendix 6. Chair, we have even presented the pictures of the structure as it is now. Remedial measures. Council shall endeavor to complete projects within the stipulated time of the contracts by ensuring continuous monitoring of projects and providing counsel to contractors on adhering to agreed time frames. I proceed to item number D, failure to fully utilize loan funds. Cause of query. Council acknowledges the observations of the Office of the Auditor General and wishes to state that out of 99 applications for the years 2022 and 2023, only 26 were selected and recommended by the bank, that is Zanaco, leaving a balance of 2,707,695. This was due to late receipt of guidance and the administration of loans and the process of loan application assessments by the commercial bank. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the balance of 2,707,695 kwacha was disbursed. See the disbursement schedule, loan statement, payment vouchers attached as Appendix 7. Remedial measure. Council shall endeavor to disburse the loans within the financial period as soon as assessments, processes, and recommendations by the bank are concluded. Constant contact with the bank and beneficiaries will be done. I proceed to management of community projects under Bahati constituency, completion of police posts and supporting infrastructure at Pomambilima abandoned works. Cause of query. Council acknowledges the observation of the Office of the Auditor General and wishes to submit that the roofing of the police post, electrical installations, plumbing installations, drilling of borehole, water tank and stand, painting, decorations, metalwork, joinery and ironmongery, floor and wall finishes were not concluded due to the delay by the contractor. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the works for the completion of Pomambilima was tendered. Contractor is on site. So far, the following works have been done. The substructure concrete works, block works, roofing, plumbing installations, electrical installations, plastering, metal works, septic tank, and soakaway. Here I presented a pictorial presentation of the project status as we speak. Remedial measure. Council shall endeavor to complete projects within the stipulated time of the contract by ensuring continuous monitoring of projects and providing counsel to contractors on adhering to agreed time frames. I proceed to the next item, delayed completion of 1x3 classroom block at Vukotelo Community School. Cause of query. Council acknowledges the observation of the Office of the Auditor General and wish to submit that at the time of audit, the staff house, plumbing and electrical installations, carpentry, joinery and ironmongery, glazing, floor and wall finishes, painting and decorations, ablution block, septic tank and soakaway and water reticulation were outstanding. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the works at Vukotelo School are now completed and the project has been handed over. See progress reports, completion, handover certificates, and pictorial presentations as Appendix 8. Remedial measure. Council shall endeavor to complete projects within the stipulated time of contract by ensuring continuous monitoring of projects and providing counsel to contractors on adhering to agreed time frames. I proceed to B, which is construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Kampalala Primary School. Cause of query. Council wishes to acknowledge the observation of the Office of the Auditor General and wishes to submit that the carpentry, joinery, ironmongery, electrical installations, floor and floor finishes, glazing and painting were outstanding due to delays by the contractor. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the remaining works have been completed at Kampalala and the project handed over. See progress report, completion, and handover certificates attached as Appendix 9. There's a pictorial presentation of the current status of the project there, Chair. Remedial measure. Council wishes shall endeavor to complete projects within the stipulated contract period by ensuring continuous monitoring of projects and providing counsel to contractors on adhering to agreed time frames. I proceed to Bahati constituency. Procurement of ambulance. Cause of query. According to the circular minute number MLG 10/4/26 dated 11 December 2023, it was indicated that procurement of ambulances was a preserve of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, and the funds held at source. As at 31st December, the said ambulance had not yet been delivered. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that it has been following progress by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development on the procurement of ambulances. See the circular. Remedial measure. Council shall continuously engage Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development regarding the progress of the said project. I proceed to the next item, electrification of public facilities. Cause of query. Council wishes to submit that in accordance with the MOU signed between Rural Electrification Authority, REA, and MANSA Municipal Council, REA's responsibility is to provide technical assistance in terms of project planning, which involves project technical assessment, market assessment, environmental impact assessment, project financial and economic analysis, project scoping, and design and supervision of contractors engaged by the local authority. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that Council wrote to Rural Electrification Authority to provide technical assistance in terms of project planning, which involves project technical assessment, market assessment, environmental impact assessment, project financial and economic analysis, project scoping and designs, and the supervision of contractors engaged by the local authority in line with the signed MOU depicting the roles and functions. See the communication to Rural Electrification Authority and MOU attached on Appendix 3. Remedial measure. Council will ensure that electrification of public places is completed by continuously following up and engaging REA to expedite the execution of the works as outlined in the MOU. Construction of Chief's Palaces. Again, Chair, according to circular number MLGRD/10/55, Council wishes to submit that the procurement of the construction of Chief's Palaces was done centrally, where Ministry of Law, Government and Rural Development signed a contract with Zambia Correction Services for the construction of the said palaces. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that MANSA Municipal Council has joined in the supervision alongside Ministry of Law, Government and Rural Development through Department of Rural Development at provincial level. The status of the said palace is as indicated. We are talking about Chimese Palace in Bahati constituency, which is currently at roof level. And the pictorial presentation is attached as an appendix. Remedial measure. Council shall continue to monitor progress of projects alongside Department of Rural Development. Council shall continuously engage and update the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development regarding the progress of the said project. I proceed to Youth, Women and Community Empowerment Loans. Cause of query. Council acknowledges the observations of the Office of the Auditor General and wishes to state that out of the 175 applicants for the years 2022 and 2023, only 15 were recommended by the bank and paid 2,242,300 kwacha, leaving a balance of 3,691,835. This was due to late receipt of guidance on administration of loans and the process of loan applications assessments by the commercial bank, which were lengthy. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the balance of 3,691,835 has been disbursed. See the disbursement schedule, loan statement and payment vouchers attached as Appendix 7. Remedial measure. Council shall endeavor to disburse the loans within the financial period once the approval and assessment process are concluded by the bank and maintain regular contact with banks and the beneficiaries. Chair, I proceed to cross-cutting issues. At this point, I want to make mention that most of the items that are coming out as cross-cutting issues are the items that are being covered in the responses in the main report.
You can ignore them. You go to the issues that you have not talked about.
Chair, on Appendix 20, I think these we have already spoken about. It's on page what? We will proceed to the administrative component. That is what we have not spoken about here. Kindly help me with the pages. Just a minute, Chair. We proceed to page 29, Chair. 29 on G. Extract of Appendix 2.5 and spent funds administrative costs. Cause of query. Council acknowledges the observation of the Office of the Auditor General findings and wishes to submit that the balance of 997,787 was as a result of funds not used because Council still had ongoing activities for the year as at 31st December 2023. Action taken. Council wishes to submit that the 997,787 was part of the amount used in monitoring of community projects in 2024. See ledgers attached as Appendix 16. Remedial measure. Council shall endeavor to execute projects with approved periods so that the administrative component is also utilized within the same financial year. I proceed to Bahati. Action taken on Bahati. Council acknowledges the observation of the Office of the Auditor General findings and wishes to submit that the balance of 903,785 was as a result of funds not utilized because Council did not complete all the projects for the year as at 31st December 2023. The action taken. Council wishes to submit that 903,785 was part of the amount used in the monitoring of community projects in 2024. See the ledgers attached as Appendix 17. Remedial measure. Council shall endeavor to execute projects with the approved period within the approved period so that the administrative component is also utilized within the same financial year. The community projects, we have spoken about the community projects. We proceed, which are those? I think, Chair, this is the only one that I didn't present from the main report, the administrative component, unless there's something else.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk, and it is time now for points of clarifications. Then I'll start with Mangango, then come to Dundumwezi.
Thank you so much, Chair. TC, I would like us to start with, I think, the first query. Chair, page 2. I'd like to firstly summarize the first query. You look at page 2, Chair. There, A, delayed implementation of approved projects. This you can go to, you see the procurement of, okay. Yeah, then you go to delayed completion of a laboratory, MANSA Skills Training Center. That is page 5. Now, you go to page 8, delayed construction of 1x3 classroom block. Page 9, Chair. Okay. I think let me start with those delayed completions. My question is, why is it that most of your projects were delayed to be completed in the year 2023, firstly? And secondly, what was your criteria, your selection criteria on the contractors that you engaged on these delayed projects? And then thirdly, were these local contractors, or you are just picking even from outside the province and so on? Maybe you can just clarify, because Chair, after most of these projects were completed in 2024 after audit beyond the contract period. So I just want to find out from the TC why this was prominent in MANSA. I submit, Chair.
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. In response to this, I will invite Directorate of Engineering to comment on the causes of the delays in completing the projects. Thank you, Chair.
Director.
Thank you, Chair. For this particular item, Chair, I kindly ask that I be assisted by my colleague, Architect Scanner, so that we can have proper information given to the committee.
No problem. We expect a response from your team, so you can choose who is going to respond to that question.
Thank you very much, Chair. Most of the delays was mostly materials were being gotten from were being outsourced outside MANSA. At that time, the materials, most of them were not available within. Looking at the distances from where the projects were, so contractors usually used to source materials from outside MANSA.
Which is outside MANSA?
That's Kitwe and Lusaka, to be precise.
You're coming, town clerk, to this meeting. Switch off your mic, Mr. Scanner. You're coming. You have just come after we have been treated to one of the best councils from Wapula province. Mwense is in Wapula, isn't it? Yes. Even MANSA is in Wapula. Where was Mwense getting the materials that they were managing? Then MANSA, the capital of Wapula province, could not get those materials. Maybe we start from there. We learn from you, Doc, and your team.
Thank you, Chair. As MANSA district, when we started implementing these projects, we indicated to the contractors that we didn't want the construction works to use these bent bricks, because usually what is available in most of these rural communities are bent bricks, but we insisted that we wanted the blocks to be used in the construction of
all the councils are using blocks. Tell us another good story.
That is a fact. Most of our contractors, of course, we are getting their materials from the copper belt. That is the experience that we had.
Yeah, I will allow my colleague. Okay, my question still comes.
Yes.
Why is Mwense, which is far away, further up there, managing? Why is Chifunaburi managing? Why is Chembe managing? You as MANSA, you have problems with the blocks. What story are you telling us?
And on top of that, Chair, may the Director Engineering kindly clarify which materials are you alluding to that only you had the challenges in accessing them than these other cited councils? Which materials? Because when you talk about materials that can only be sourced from Osaka, we know some of them that I wouldn't want to start answering on your behalf.
Honorable Mwene, the question is very clear.
It's very clear. Yes. Which materials are those that we are not able to access in MANSA?
Honorable Dundumwezi.
And how long were you taking to ferry those materials from either Osaka or Copperbelt to MANSA? How long were you taking? I submit, sir.
Honorable Mwene, the question is how come the same province, small districts who get the materials probably from MANSA itself are managing, then MANSA is not getting those materials, the same material? Honorable Dundumwezi.
Chair, I'm grateful. Maybe another perspective, Chair. When you look at the reason or reasons that MANSA has advanced from the CS. She's saying that they didn't want bent bricks, and I know this is not one of the materials that were gotten from Lusaka or Copper Belt. But when you look at the construction of an ablution block, Mutende School, MANSA is attributing this delay to the contractors who could not understand
the EGP.
The EGP system. Is MANSA aware that where local contractors face this challenge, they can deviate to another provision by law? Thank you, Chair.
Town Clerk, as you respond, maybe an appeal to the entire team. I hope you are prepared. You're coming, you're prepared to respond. This is your document. We are merely reading from your document. And we are asking you, why is MANSA failing to implement projects on time? Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. We have taken note of the fact that we delayed in implementing the projects on time. And I think it's something that we are looking at and we're improving upon. We just have to upscale our monitoring of contractors when undertaking the works. We need to improve on how we have been managing and monitoring these contractors so that projects are completed within the agreed time frames, Chair.
Town Clerk, that's very interesting. When did you realize that? Just hold on. When did you realize that? Is it now? Because you are saying you are taking note. It's like now we are telling you, now you have taken note of what we are telling you. Now, when did you realize that projects need to be monitored and implemented on time?
Thank you, Chair, for that question. We realized actually way back. That is why when we go to 2024, actually, you see improvement on how we have managed.
No, we don't know what will come. You don't know. Maybe I will be voted again. Am I going to be here? I'm talking about this. CDF started in 2022. We are dealing with 2023. Why should you have? And the provincial capital of Luapula province, this is Luapula, yes. The provincial capital. Small councils are performing better. And my assumption that if you're a director of engineering, you have the same qualification with the director of engineering in Mwense, in Chipiri, in Chifunabuli. Why are you failing yourselves? Now you say we take note. You take note now.
On top of that, what is that note? Because Chair, they haven't explained clearly only the things, the hurdles they face in MANSA.
Yes, can
what
you
is that they have taken in note? Is it on the... I asked the other questions. What was the mode of criteria on your selection of your contractors? They haven't yet answered that one. Then we come to the implementation process itself. So what is it that they have taken note that they are going to improve on? Submit.
Thank you. Respond, Town Clerk. You can be assisted by your directors.
Thank you, Chair. On the selection methods, depending on the value, for those that were above 1 million, those were subjected to open national bidding. But for those that were below 1 million, an example is Mutende. That one was done under simplified bidding. So that one we just selected a few suppliers from our database and the ones that we have. So those are the ones that we invited.
You are the director of engineering.
Procurement.
Your procurement.
Yes.
Director engineering. Who is the director? You are the director. Mr. Scanner, you're
Thank you very much.
what's your position?
Architect.
Okay. The two of you, architect, director, engineering, you are on top of these projects. What are the challenges that you have been facing in ensuring that this CDF is implemented effectively and the results are done within the stipulated time frame? The two of you, you can start with director engineering.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, like the town clerk has said, Chair,
I'm asking you now.
Yes, Chair, I'm coming to that. We realize there were possibly lapses where we didn't do well as regards constant monitoring of these projects to ensure that they're implemented on time.
What
Chair,
are those lapses?
Chair, we could have done better as regards ensuring that we push these contractors to meet timelines. And going forward, Chair, one of the things that we've put is we are constantly engaging contractors, having site meetings, Chair, to ensure that we review constantly the work schedules to ensure that they align with the contract period, Chair.
Do you understand the consequence of delayed implementation of the project?
We do, Chair.
What are those?
One of the consequences of delayed implementation is a delayed service to the people of MANSA. Chair.
Another one?
It can also lead to increase in the cost of the project.
I'm
Chair.
very happy. So for you, you don't get moved because of your negligence. This is what you have caused. And it is business as usual. No, those lapses. Town clerk, you supervise these officers. At one point, you didn't realize that CDF implementation is not going well in MANSA. If you did, what action did you take against these officers?
I had to write, actually, to swap where the supervision of the projects were done by another officer to just ensure that there was progress in the way we were monitoring.
You swapped him, was removed.
It's not him, someone who has left already.
Oh, this one was not there in 2023?
No, he has just joined.
He has just come in. The one who was there is who?
Engineer Tembo.
Mr. Scanner, were you there?
Thank you very much, Chair. During that time after, there wasn't anyone to spearhead the movement of the projects and the engineering. I was coordinating the office of the director.
Director?
Engineering, when there was no director, when Mr.
The period 2023, what were you?
2023, I was still an architect, same position.
But you were the one coordinating?
That was 2020, 2024.
2020?
20.
Feel at easy. You are not in court. We are having just a simple conversation. We want to establish what were you in 2023? You are an architect. Who was sitting in for the director engineering?
It's 2024, July.
That's when you started.
Yes.
Sitting in. Where is the person who was there as director engineering?
He has since resigned.
Resigned.
Yes.
Okay. Honorable Dundumwezi.
Chair, thank you very much. MANSA is saying that they've taken note, like my colleague has just alluded to. I want to suppose that these contracts were drawn or written or agreed between yourselves and the contractors. And in those contracts, there were clauses. In those contracts, there were time indicated, Chair, as to when these works would start and as to when these contracts will be completed. Just tell me why it has just come to your realization now. Are you saying that you were not part of those contracts that were signed between the local authority and the contractors, Chair? Thank you.
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. So the realization on delayed completion of projects hasn't dawned on us now. Actually, if you see in our responses, we have indicated that we are going forward, in fact, or what we are doing now is to intensify the monitoring as well as counseling the contractors, having meetings with them on the importance of ensuring that projects are completed within the agreed time frames. So that, Chair, is already ongoing. That is, maybe I can say, 2022-2023, of course, we had just started implementing this CDF and we are teething problems. But when you see where we are now, Chair, there is a great improvement on how the time frames are being adhered to by the contractors.
Let us look at Mutende. Let us be specific now. What was the contract price of Mutende? 471,000. Can the town clerk lead us to the contract details? Who was the contractor for Mutende? When was Mutende ablution block started? Can we have the contract details? It starts from page 1. Let me read. I just singled out Mutende. It says a review of the approved project list progress reports for the Constituency Development Fund revealed that 4 approved projects with a total cost or total allocation of 3,471,875 had not been implemented despite being approved by the provincial government officer on 21st April 2023 and the funding received between 11th May and 29th December 2023. The table there indicating procurement of ambulance, yes, we understand. Electrification of public facility, construction of Chief's Palace. Now I've just singled out Mutende ablution block at Mutende School, construction of ablution block, 471,875. Director Engineering, when was Mutende procured? Who was the contractor? And when was it completed, if at all it was completed? Lead us to the details of the contract from Mutende.
Thank you, Chair. I will refer us to Appendix 1, where we have certificate of substantial completion, Chair. The name of the contractor on that was Faith Franda Logistics Limited, Chair. And the project was completed on the 11th of December 2024, after which the defect liability period commenced, which is scheduled to elapse by 12th of December 2025, Chair. I submit.
It was completed on 19th October 2024. 9th October 2024?
11th, Chair. 11th of December.
2024.
2024.
So
yes,
this
Chair.
certificate is a partial completion?
Yes, Chair.
Where is the final certificate of completion?
Chair, the final will be only issued after the expiration of the defect liability period, which will come after the 12th of
You have
December.
cleared this contractor? In terms of payment, what was the total amount paid? Is this the same 471?
Chair, amount paid was less the retention period because we're still in the defect liability period, Chair.
There was no extension. I mean, there was no variation to this project.
No, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Mwene, you had a different question?
On the same chair, I just want to still find out. TC, when did you go to MANSA? Your microphone, please.
May 2022.
Meaning all these projects were solely, completely under you, up to date, not so? Now,
Yes.
I think back to the question for the chair. A bigger council like yours, a municipal council, performing below par compared to small councils like those nearby you, Chembe, those nearby you, what's that council chair after MANSA going that way? Funabuli, and the other one there. How does it feel to you? Smaller councils performing better than you in terms of implementation of projects. How does this feel to you? In spite of all the challenges you are trying to cite, you are trying to bring on the table, you are trying to reason with your committee, but the bottom line is that you failed to complete the projects on time compared to those that are within your same province. How does that make you feel? As we can say in this case, chair, actually she's senior to those smaller councils, not so, chair, because this is a municipal council and those are small councils. So how does that make you feel in terms of your performance and the way you are managing your council in comparison to those smaller councils? I submit, chair.
Thank you. Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. As indicated in the report, most of these projects are now completed. Of course, we had challenges. 2022, the project implementation started late because of the approvals, which came others in December. For 2022 and 2023 projects in MANSA district, we only successfully started awarding contracts in the second quarter of 2023. And that was a result of the introduction of the EGP system. We had a challenge. The first times we floated tenders on EGP, we did not successfully award any contract. So for MANSA, we had those challenges.
I think we can go beyond that. See, Honorable Mwene, interrogating her on the same issue may not yield any result. I think she knows, she understands. The same EGP which was the challenge, it was the same EGP which was used in Mwense. The same EGP was used in Joseph. The same EGP was used. How did you fail to do that? It is concluded. You cannot interrogate her more than what she can answer, because the same environment, the same conditions, they failed. So we are not going to get any response from her.
Sorry, Chair. My question is her feeling. How does she feel that other councils around her were able to perform on time than herself, than her council? That's the question. How does she feel?
Okay.
Yes, that's the question.
Like, what is your feeling?
Yeah, of course I wouldn't feel good that my council delayed to implement when other councils managed. That is how I feel.
Thank you. Let's go to page 4. Page 4, delayed completion of laboratory of a laboratory master skill training. I'm just speaking from what Honorable Mwene started. Now I'm picking one by one. So I want you to look at this contract, and I want the attention of the Director Engineering and Mr. Scanner there. This contract was awarded to Kingsley Enterprise for the completion of laboratory, a laboratory at Master Skill Training Center at a contract sum of 183,134 kwacha, with a completion period of 12 weeks, commencing 21st October 2023. We are moving together. I want you to be taking note as a team there. So, and ending, it's supposed to end 21st November 2023. In October, 20th October, the council wrote to the contractor approving contract extension for 4 weeks, effective November 22, 2023, ending December 22, 2023. The scope of works are mentioned there. As at 31st December 2023, the contractor had been paid 25% advance payment, which is 45,784. A physical inspection carried out on 24th June 2024 revealed that the contractor was not on site and outstanding works included painting, decorating, completion, electrical installation. All those works we are moving together, you have seen them. The question is, what were the factors that necessitated the council to make an extension, to give an extension of 4 weeks? Even after that those 4 weeks, the contractor could not do the works. He was not on site. Even being paid 45,000 kwacha, the contractor was not on site. Has the council recovered the 45,000 kwacha? Town clerk, any of your officers?
Thank you very much, Chair. The contract was awarded to Kingsdom Enterprises Limited after executing the works, after getting the advance of 45,000. They had executed the works to some level in which the works that were done were equivalent to the advance which was given. And afterward, the contractor had abandoned the site. After abandoning the site, the contract was then terminated. After that extension, when the contractor couldn't continue, it was then terminated and given to certain contractor, Kira, who later on finished the works.
Can we see the financials, the financial closure with Kingsley? Switch off your mic. When you say that Kingsley Enterprise did the works amounting to 45,000 kwacha which was paid, you need to show us the financials where you agreed with him that this is now, it's okay. Then he liquidated damages that were meted out. We need to look at the financials for this particular contract. Further, the other contractor who took up the contract, was there any additional funds to it? What was the final cost of this project? The laboratory.
Thank you very much. With all indulgence, I would request maybe the DF can answer on the financials.
Chair, I'll refer the question back to Director Engineering. Because for us, our part was making payment, which was coming as a result of the progress report that was generated by engineering.
Director Engineering.
Chair, we've taken note of the fact to say we've not attached the final report that could have shown the financials as regards the first contractor.
It's not about taking note. You should explain to us. These are public resources. Before you terminate, you do the financial closures. What works, the scope of works done, equivalent to the monies that were paid, 45,000 kwacha as advance payment to this particular contractor. You close the contract. You agree. Where are the letters that you wrote to this Kingsley complaining about that particular contractor not being on site and abandoning the works despite being paid. We need that. That's the evidence that we want. We cannot just assume. Then we need to know the final cost. And this is the reason for the delay, we told you. Overpricing. I asked you the consequences of the factors or the resultant of not supervising. What you have caused. We need to look at that. Can you send someone in MANSA as we proceed to send you those documents immediately? You came with a very big suitcase with the documents. We need to look at that. Contract by contract. What was the final cost at completion?
Not a chair who do as guided.
Even the final cost of the project you are not aware? After variation. Was the variation approved by the CDF committee? Was it approved by the provincial government officer? Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. So the project was completed within the approved sum that was done by the CDF committee. Of course, the first contractor did the first part, and after termination, the remaining balance is the money that was used to complete the works. So
that
there was
is the
no
story.
extra
We
funding.
want documentary evidence, proof.
Chair will provide the documentary
Okay,
evidence.
as we proceed, yes.
Thank you.
We welcome Honorable Kampamba. You can greet the people.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, MANSA. My name is Kampamba Mlenga. I am Member of Parliament for the good people of Kalulusha on the Copper Belt. You are welcome.
Thank you, Honorable. So we put this on hold. We are waiting for further details. Honorable Singombe. Maybe I can read. You have one?
No.
Okay. Let's go to page 8. Page 8. I'm just picking what Honorable Mwene started. Now I'm dealing them one by one. Delayed construction of a 1x3 classroom block, Sarah B at Kampombwa, not Kampamba, Kampombwa Community School. This project was started on July 2023, 17th July. You engaged in a CEDA Limited for the construction of the same at a contract price of 1.5 million. This was a special price, 1.5, a 1x3 classroom block, 1,550,093, with a completion period of 20 weeks, commencing in July 2023, ending December 2023. The scope of work was construction, slab, whatever, everything there. As at 31st December 2023, amounts totaling 553 had been paid to the contractor, leaving a balance of 594,540. A physical inspection carried out in June 2024, 5 months after the expected completion date, revealed that the contractor was not on site, and outstanding works included electrical installations, plumbing works, fitting of doors, completion of water reticulation system, painting, decoration, floor and wall finishes, and external works, as can be seen in the pictures. The council says it acknowledges the author's observations that the following were done. Action taken. It wishes to submit that electrical installations, works, and all those have been completed and handed over. The question is, number one, what took long? What made you to take long to complete this rather very expensive 1x3 classroom block? It was coming with water? Yes, water, house. Okay. Then it is justifiable. Why 5 months after the date of completion?
Thank you, Chair. As I mentioned earlier, we had challenges in engineering department. At some point, I mentioned that we had to make changes on the staffing levels because of the delays and completion of these projects and project monitoring.
Yeah, maybe we learn from you. Was in the Department of Engineering, there were no other subordinates to the engineer. He was just an engineer alone in that department.
Thank you, Chair. At the time, we only had one engineer.
The entire department?
Yes, we had challenges in staffing levels. It's now that we have requested for more staff in the engineering department, and I can safely say that our engineering department is now adequately staffed. Thank you, Chair.
Well, were there any variations to this project owing to that delayed period?
We didn't have any variations in the
same contractor completed it?
Yes, Chair.
When was it handed over?
Last year. There's a completion certificate, engineer.
Where is the completion certificate?
Chair, with your permission, Chair, I refer your committee to Appendix number 6.
6. November 2024. By then, Mr. Scana was acting in that office. Okay. Page 10. Failure to utilize loan funds. The Council or CDF guidelines, I will not read the guidelines. During the period under review, the Council allocated 3,227,784 as empowerment loans. In addition, there was a balance brought forward from 2022, 2,934,350, bringing the funds total to 6,162,135. However, out of a total of 99 applicants for the year 2022 and 2023, 26 were selected and awarded loans, amounts totaling 3,454,440 to undertake various projects such as tailoring, construction, farming, refabrication, and staff, a balance of 2,700,000. The Council's response. Council acknowledges the observations of the auditors and wishes to state that out of 99 applicants for the year 2022-2023, only 26 were selected and commended by Zanaco, leaving a balance of 2 million as stated. This was due to late receipt of guidance on the administration of loans and the process of loan application. This is the reason why you had 6 million from 2022, 2 million, and 2023, 3-point-something million sitting in the loan account to be given to the people of MANSA. But you failed to give these loans and you attributed it to late guidelines. As I said that in the morning, we had a council, MUNICIPal council, dealing with 2 constituencies, Mambirima and Mwense. Is it Mambirima, yes? Mambirima and Mwense. In their loan account, in their grant account, 00, they perfectly administered everything. And that is a small council next to you. You as MANSA, you had 6 million. Are you telling this committee that the people of MANSA were not willing to take up these loans? They were, you said what? Late what? This was due to late receipt of guidelines and administration on the these guidelines were only delaying in MANSA, not in other councils, town clerk.
Respond?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Where loans are concerned, loans are different from grants. Of course, with the grants, you just select, the CDFC committee will just select, and those are the people that will be recommended and paid off. But where loans are concerned, we forward all the applications to ZANACO. And the people that will benefit are those that are cleared by the bank. But apparently, in the situation of MANSA, when we forwarded the 99 applications, with the hope that everything will be cleared by the bank, when the response came, only a few people qualified to be given loans. And the recommended people by the bank are the ones that were given the loans.
Can
That
you
was
read, just read for this committee and the public, read your response.
on action taken?
Yes, the cause of the query, especially the last part, which starts with, okay, you can read everything, so that we reconcile with what you have just stated.
Thank you, Chair. The last part is saying this was due to late receipt of guidance on the administration of loans and the process of loan application assessments by the commercial bank. To explain this, for 2022, the approvals for 2022 on loans came when we forwarded to the bank. The approvals for the 2022 loans from the bank came through in April 2023.
The guidelines.
No. Those are the submissions, the loan application submitted to the bank, not necessarily the guidelines.
I'm talking about the guidelines. Which guidelines are you referring to here?
Of course, for the guidelines and the loan applications, there was some bit of delay. We started, is it in January? January 2023, Chair. So that was about the guidelines. But the issue here was the processing of the applications by the bank, because we can only proceed to pay once those are cleared by the bank.
Honorable for Dundumwezi first, then Mangango.
Chair, I'm grateful. Chair, I wanted to find out from the town clerk. Normally, when the bank sends back the approvals, they would indicate the reasons why certain applications have been turned down. Are you in a position to inform this committee, the people of MANSA, and the country at large, what were the most challenging reasons by the people of MANSA, an urban area compared to Mwense, that led to them not managing to access these 99 chairman, 26 out of 99 chairperson is a very, very big number. So I wanted to know what were the reasons for the banks not approving these, since they normally write the reasons as to why those who were not successful.
Thank you, Chair. I'll invite Director Planning to comment on the reasons.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I think you've alluded to the issue of the guidelines. The financial institutions that we received guidelines in November, early November 2022. That's when we received the financial institutions that were supposed to work with in terms of loan disbursement. Then we made the submissions to ZANACO, the bank that was picked, in January. When we received, it took almost 4 months, as TC indicated. When we received the feedback from ZANACO, the major reasons why most of our applicants were not successful is their business plans were not matching up with what they had applied to do. So we kept on, that is one of the reasons why most of these monies were later paid in 2024. It was the applications that would go through were as few, if we combine the two constituencies, to 7 in MANSA Central, 11 in Bahati when we get approvals. Again, we sent the same those where they would give us guidance. We would call the same beneficiaries so that they could polish up on where they had made mistakes. And some of them you would be pushing, they wouldn't respond quickly enough for you to resubmit. That is why the bulk of the loan funds were paid in 2024. And the reason for that was we decided to take everything that we received so that we could have a bigger pool of those that were approved. That's why we were able to exhaust almost the entire loan allocation. Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Chair, me, I'm finding it quite challenging with the MANSA. I know MANSA, I've been to MANSA. Because they are trying to, MANSA Town Council, TC and the team are trying to substantiate their failure. You simply acknowledge that we failed and apologize and forge ahead. Then trying to substantiate your failure, which will not hold any water. Because, you know, we are finding, your committee is finding it very difficult to understand your hurdles, your challenges, your difficulties, your problems in comparisons to smaller councils surrounding you that have succeeded in the same area. Not only loans, but also projects. So, Chair, personally I'm finding it very difficult to try to understand the TC and the planner when they are trying to sugarcoat their failure. There are constituencies within the same province that were able to issue loans, all of them. Not even a single coin remained in 2023, but you had similar conditions. There are councils within your same province that were able to implement all the projects within your same province, within the same Zambia, with the similar conditions. So, to try to sugarcoat your failure as a council, to say, no, here we'll answer like this, there we'll answer them, you are just simply, I don't know, I'm failing to understand. That's why you are saying you have come with a bag full of evidence, when smaller councils have come with just a lean submission. So,
you have said it very well.
Yes, Chair.
You see, we indicated when we started that the danger that you have, you think that the challenges you are, because of your weaknesses or failures, you think everyone is failing. Just today, even yesterday, in the same province, we have Chamber Council. In the same province, we have Mwense now. In the same province, we have Chifunaburi. Just there. These are shining examples. If we pick them and we show you, they can't even come to your council and benchmark. You're supposed to go and learn. And if you fail to accept your weaknesses, you will never learn. You find yourselves out. Why are we doing this? These are public resources meant to benefit the people of MANSA. They are not getting any benefit arising from your inertia. Let me give you an example. I'm happy he has summarized it very well. Because we can be asking you, you are not even apologetic for your failures. We bring the same officers from Mwense to come and work in MANSA. The situation will change. We take you from where you are in MANSA, take you to any other. It will show up. You know your weaknesses will show up in those areas. In local government, there are people who have been models. You transfer one person, is a performer in this council, you move him to this other council, he's a performer. You move that person to another council, is a performer. Failures are failures. Wherever you have been, you fail here, you take it to this other, you fail. Because you want to justify failure. You are not following government guidelines. You are reporting for work every day, morning, same way, 8 hours. And this government is giving money. Kalurushi, she's here. It's a shining example. You will see Kalurushi. Vubwi, Shangombo, Kafyue, we can mention them. They are all councils. Kalurushi is a municipal council. You can't say these are small councils. Kalurushi is a municipal council. So what we are telling you, take heed and do the correct things. Let me give you an example, town clerk. It is on completion of police post and supporting infrastructure at Pomambilima abandoned works. This is a the query. March 2023, the contractor had been paid 236,742 as advance payment. However, this is the contract given to Austemo General Dealers in 2023 March, amounting to 946,969 with a completion period of 24 weeks. It was expected to complete December 2023, but in March, you paid this contractor in March advance payment 236,742. However, physical inspection carried out in June 2024, a year later, revealed that the only construction that took place at this was just a foundation of a house had been done. Someone who was paid 200 and something thousand, a contractor, under your watch, he just does foundation of a house. Town clerk, it's an indictment on your part. Whatever you may be called, town clerk, directors, it is this that he should confirm whether you are directors and town clerks. These are public resources. The pictures are there. Are you there on page 12? Yeah. We are on page 12. It says further the contractor had abandoned the works, leading to the termination of the contract. January 2024, you terminated the contract. Now I come back to the engineering. What was the financial closure or financials on this contract before liquidated damages? Were they charged on this contract? Who received the 230 something plus only to do a slab? So we want answers from you. So what Mwene and everyone is saying here, the issue is not, it's an attitude. Loans, the same guidelines, that's what I was asking, how about guidelines? Same guidelines are given to all the councils by the Minister of Local Government, same day. And the monies for loans, you cannot say Mwense was given less. You MANSA, you are administering more money. Same amount of loans. Why did Mwense? I was excited when I saw Dundumwezi perusing the report for Mwense. I wanted him to read so that you see that they are shining examples, models, so that your failures are exposed, not that we are unfair to you. This is your own report. Did you charge liquidated damages to this contractor? And what was the financial closure? You terminated. I'm sure you re-advertised. At what cost was the new cost? Out of your negligence. Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. I will refer your committee chair to Appendix 11.
Let's go to Appendix 11.
In particular, Chair, I want to respond to at what cost was the project re-advertised at or contracted at. Chair, attached at Appendix 11 is a progress report. And just the first page of the progress report has got project description where the contract sum of 2.8 million is reflected as the new contract sum, Chair. I submit.
Now you see, a project that was going to cost 900, it is now 2-point-something million. Town clerk, are you seeing? Is this good? Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. We take note of the observations of the committee, and I just want to make mention, Chair, that actually there was a change in the scope of works. That is how even the contract sum has gone up. Because initially what we needed to do was just to modify the structure which was done by the community and put up a house. But when your committee visited the site, there was a recommendation that actually we change the scope of works. We include just erasing the old structure and putting up a new police post, as well as putting up infrastructure in terms of houses for the police that would be sent to site, as well as providing water reticulation. So arising from the extra works or extension in the scope of works, even the contract sum went up.
Thank you. But where is the information? Had you implemented this at that time in 2023, you were going to complete this first building. Then you are going to ask for additional infrastructure that could have come independently. So this is just demonstrating. When I was reading this report in the night, I read it thoroughly. I saw that there is a problem in terms of management of projects, and this has become business as usual. These are public resources. Had you completed this project on time, were they going to be that issue? Because the committee that could have visited, they saw the shoddy work. They saw that you had abandoned it. And yet monies were there. We can go on. I will just read now as I summarize. I just want to read through as I summarize. The other challenge we have is at Kampalala Primary School, 1x3 classroom block. Also delayed. Outstanding works are there. So in short, just the entire project management, you are failing in MANSA. So, the other interesting one is on page 31, a general perspective on the community projects, outstanding projects for 2023. This is 2020, yes, 23. You had the MANSA Central had 7, Bahati 7. MANSA Central implemented 1, works in progress 4. As for Bahati, you had 7, which were procured. Implemented in 2023, 0. Works in progress 4. Outstanding 3. For MANSA Central, outstanding 3. And these were after 2024, somewhere in June when you are audited. This was indicating 0 for Bahati out of 7. Now, you say that this was due to challenges in the procurement process with the introduction of EGP. Further, the local contractor had challenges in undertaking and uploading bid documents on the EGP. So now, when you look at this scenario, it is worrying. Bahati, they approved. The MP sat there, they approved the 7. The MP is not involved in the actual monitoring and supervision. All the MPs, it is the officers. When you see successes in councils or projects, it has more to do with the attitude of the officers. Of course, the MP, he puts his or her hand to ensure that projects are done to benefit the local people. But when you look at this report, I'm reading from your 31 page, what is there? So I am summarizing now, because for MANSA it's a bad report and it's a disappointing scenario. Especially that in that region, you have councils that have so far performed very well. Chembe, Chifunabuli, Mwense. And we are yet to see more. Here we have Kafue and others who are doing very well. So, Town clerk, we can go on and on. In short, even on Appendix 20, the list of the outstanding projects, Appendix 20, there is nothing on Appendix 20. I don't want to open it. The listing of the projects that were earmarked and the status, if they are in progress, at what stage. So, that's when you want to share that list now. We told you, share anything that you have. TC, we read. I'm not perused, I'm just telling you Appendix 20, there's nothing there. So this should go to all councils. This committee, your committee, we read these things. And we told you, can you submit? This is now you are realizing. Because you, in your own wisdom, you know they will not see. But now we are demonstrating to you. So, we want to say that as a committee, we are very disappointed with MANSA Council in the management of the Constituency Development Fund. You are requested to go back. Director Engineering, you're a new person there. Go and put that house in order. The expectations of the people of MANSA are very high. The people of Zambia, they want to see this much talked about CDF, whether it's real on the ground. It's not just rhetoric. There are councils who are demonstrating that their CDF is working and the people are seeing. But some of the councils, because of the officers that are there, you are failing. If this was the basis of assessment, you, all of you who are involved in 2023, you are not doing very well. There is no any other way of assessing you. Councils were created to provide these services. And in the district, there is no any other institution other than the council, local government. You are local government. You are the core of decentralization. So the failures can easily be seen. Loan, people are not getting loans. 6 million sitting in your accounts. And director planning, you are trying to justify, no, when they, even if there are two, these guidelines are given at the same time. So these guidelines, they delayed in MANSA and not in the other councils. So there's no excuse to that. So we read your reports. We are not going to be accused to be unfair. Your reports, what you have brought here, gives us the tone to use. As I always say, that it's not an issue of competence, it's attitude. You have the papers, the same as those in Mwense, the same in Mvubwe, but the attitude. And I can assure you, your attitude, if you don't change, transfer you from one council from Mwense to go, it will replicate. That's the beauty about local government. If you're a performer wherever you go, we had Mr. Bernard Siwakwi from Kalomo. Wherever he went, councils which were in 23 months changed to be up to date. People were going to learn from him. Today we saw one who was a treasurer in Mangango. He was in Kaoma. He's now in Mwense. I am sure Mwense will be a shining example. You can tell these officers. So we shall tell the commission here, I go with this dad. So that I don't forget. I write what I observe. And these committee members, they also note. When we have your employers, we shall tell them, there are the problems, ABCD. Without looking at your faces, we are looking at Zambia, not individuals. Zambia we want. The president gives a lot of money to councils, then we can be failing. I corner man. I hereby withdraw the immunity that was earlier conferred on you. From now, you are on your own. You go back, put your house in order, and we wish you well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
There you have it, dear viewers. That was MANSA Municipal Council making appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, which is considering the report over the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And still to come, we do expect the Committee on Local Government Accounts to receive submissions from Limulunga Town Council. Remember, Limulunga Town Council did appear, but the council was advised to resubmit its report. So that's the reason why Limulunga Town Council is reappearing. So we urge you to stay glued right here on Parliament Television, the only station dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. Good afternoon.
Yo soy